was in 1928, you know the story better than I do, that George Slade brought Carolyn to this country and to this city, and went to Pastor Schweikart to be married, and thinking about having a quiet wedding service, perhaps in the parsonage itself, and Pastor Schweikart bringing them to this place, perhaps in a different form than it is today, but to this place. And having just completed a wedding, asking the guests to remain, leaving the candles lighted and the flowers in place, and uniting George and Carolyn in the bonds of holy matrimony with a holy new community of faith. Gail told the story to Joan and to myself in that April rain with the windshield wipers going back and forth at their highest speed. He told the story as his story, a story that had impacted his life and that he had claimed as a part of his story. Our stories, yours and mine, shape our identity, the way we perceive ourselves. We describe ourselves to other persons through narration, through family stories and place name stories. You see that tree over there, bud? Hanging tree. You see that second limb from the ground? 20 people died hanging from that limb. A place name story. Some of our national stories of George Washington and a well-known cherry tree. Let me tell you a story this morning. A story about a storied lover. I believe that Johnny was 9 years of age. And he really loved stories. He lived in a home in which a conscious decision had been made by his parents that there would be no broadcast in the home. But there was a neighbor lady 3 doors down. And she, on a rainy Saturday, would sometimes invite Johnny down for milk and cookies. She had been a storyteller at the local library in her younger years. She was a marvelous storyteller, and she had a wonderful ability, a singular ability, to tell a story as the listener's story, as Johnny's story. There was a story she told about how the world was created with a single word. Exciting stories about two brothers, the younger tricking both his older brother and his father in order to gain the family inheritance. And a beautiful story about their reconciliation. There was a story that you remembered about a baby hidden in a basket made of bulrushes and placed in the reeds of the Nile River. And in all the stories, the central character was God. She shared with him God's stories. Over time, through this woman, this storyteller, who had a facility for telling stories as his stories, Johnny came to perceive and believe that his life had new beginnings, that those beginnings stretched back further than he had ever dreamed, further than his parents or grandparents or great-grandparents. Why, his beginnings stretched back to Abraham and to Jacob and Esau and to Moses. Johnny was to discover that his story was a rich Semitic story as well. And as Johnny grew older, he came to the place of began to name God into his world. How does Paul speak of this process to the Galatians? Did you receive the Spirit by works of the law or by hearing with faith? With faith hearing. You see, this neighbor lady, this marvelous story, shared with John the faith, and he came to hear through his own faith hearing and to receive the gift of the Spirit. At St. Matthew United Church of Christ, in our church school classes, we do not teach our children and young people about the Bible as if it were something external to their lives. At St. Matthew Church School, we share with our children and young people their story, T-H-E-I-R, their story as found in the Old and New Testaments. On Sunday morning at St. Matthew United Church of Christ, our pastor does not preach to us about the Bible. Rather, he or she shares with us out of the richness of our story as found in the Old and the New Testaments. On Sunday morning, our pastor reminds us of who we are. We begin today a new chapter in our stories, yours and mine. Prior to very recent years, our storylines have been quite different. The difference is reflected in simply reading the names of our beloved pastors. Martin Otto, Louis Swecker, Pastor Suleiman, Roland Panther, Greg Schumann, and William Therapy. The question comes, how did this English get into such a mess? Many of your roots are in Germany. Most of your roots are evangelical. Your roots go back to Webster Groves, Missouri, and to Eden Seminary. My roots come from England and Wales. My roots are congregational. My roots go back to the University of Chicago, Chicago Theological Seminary, ETS, and there. My affirmation this morning is that we stand together, pastor and people, in our story. Our common roots, you see, are found in the Tigris and Euphrates River Valley. Our common roots are found in the wilderness of Sinai. Our common roots are found on a limestone ridge 6 miles south and west of Jerusalem that cradles a little village called Bethlehem, the house of bread. Our common roots are found outside the door of a sacred old church in Wittenberg. And in the face of all this commonness that is our story, how can our differences do other than enrich us both? There should be another word said, however, a personal word perhaps. In 1958, a year after the Virgin, which occasioned the United Church of Christ, as a student minister in Dundee, Illinois, I met a girl, a German girl, then president of her church youth group, an organist for the church school of the First Congregational United Church of Christ in Dundee, Illinois. felt empty inside and alone and betrayed and abandoned, just the way you and I feel at times. And he went to an arboretum near his home. It was November, and there was a cold rain. And he walked for a long time through the woods. And he fought and he prayed. And he came to a little open clearing. And there were some crows cawing and flying from tree to tree. And he cried out to them, "How can you go crying through the sky, cawing and flying, when I am so depressed?" And all of a sudden, the sky, the sound of his voice was just filled with crows, flying back and forth and cawing at the top of his lungs. And he told me in that cacophony of cawing, I found myself laughing. I hadn't been able to laugh at myself for years. And he said to me something else. He said, sometimes we go to God for comfort, and God gives to us a command. Go and sell what you have and give to the poor. A command. Well, I kind of agonized over the title of the sermon this morning. Standing together in our story sounded somewhat static to me. Should it be running